Hello Internet, so nice to see you. Tommaso Zilio, Mystery for Guitar here with my friend Camille. We were talking strats today, and we were started talking about how to set up the pickups on a Stratocaster. Now, because the sound changes a lot when you set up the pickups right now. So, and when you buy a Strat, or when you buy any guitar actually, they are never set up right. Okay, it's in the factory somehow they always find a way to put them random. Okay,
yeah, that's what it feels like.
Yeah, I bought a Strat recently,
Yeah.
and they were literally random. Okay, I mean, I played it and it sounded horribly. And I'm like, okay, but acoustically is good, so I'm trusting the process. Okay, I bought the guitar anyway, set up the pickup, it sounded much better later.
You think they would have one person run through that before they shipped them out?
Well, yeah, you think,
Yeah.
but the other thing is that it depends on what you like. Okay, so
This is true.
So it really depends also on the style and how you play, because you have to think of the pickups as EQs for your guitar, okay? Where you decide how much volume you have and how much treble and bass you have, and how to change the balance of the string. So now we're gonna explain these using a Squire Strat, not really a fancy instrument, okay? And
No.
I'm going pretty much direct. I'm gonna take off, because right now I have a little bit of overdrive and a little bit of delay, so I'm gonna take those out completely. And now I'm going direct into a Boss Katana 50 into a clean amp, okay? There's nothing extra added. This way, you guys at home can follow exactly what we're doing, okay? There's nothing we do right now is predicated on having a fancy guitar. So, first of all, we want to examine a little bit what happened when we switch the pickup. So, you can hear that right now in this one, the way I hear it, we have more volume here.
Yeah.
When I switch on the bridge pickup, the volume drops.
And I'm guessing that's not ideal.
No. Okay. Let's say, at least in first approximation, you want the same volume. Then later you can decide to have more or less. Okay. There's also another thing, the sound thins out a lot. So you lose bass. So you have more bass here and less bass here.
And that's with the volume levels steady?
Everything is on 10. All the volumes, the tones are on 10.
Oh, I mean, that the bridge pickup naturally just has more treble
Yes,
and less bass.
that is true. But also the bridge pickup naturally has less volume, because the
Okay.
string vibrates more here and the string vibrates less here. So there's less signal here. So to get the same volume, you need to put the bridge pickup closer to the string.
I see.
So here's where we start, because there are a number of things to know. The only thing you need to know to have is essentially a Phillips screwdriver. Okay, so really not much this. Some people will recommend you to get a caliper and measure the exact height of the string on the pickups. No, don't do that.
Okay.
It's good for a starting point if you really want.
Okay.
But
It's not gospel though.
totally not. And then different pickups will want different things, and different strings will want different things. So that it's because, I mean, if later you change and put a set of a different, you have tens right now.
I've got tens, yes.
The Dio tens, I guess, standard.
Yeah,
the
that's
Dio
right, yeah.
1046 or 1048.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, and if you then change string, I don't know, you put I don't know, GHS boomers, and then you put maybe the nines. I don't know.
Yeah, or light tops, heavy bottoms, or whatever.
The balance will change, so we will have to adjust a little bit. Anyway, the starting point for me, that's my procedure, and there is more than one way to skin a cat. Okay, so there's not gospel again. Okay, it's good to start. I'm typically start from the bridge.
Okay.
So sorry, from the neck pickups. This one. Okay, I typically set the highs first. So I try and hear what's happening only on the first string. And again, if you turn this clockwise, righty-tighty, okay, it gets closer. So you can hear that the volume increases a little bit. If you take it away, so lefty loosey, okay, or counterclockwise, the volume goes down, but it also becomes a bit clearer.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the first principle. When you get closer to the strings, you get more volume, and the sound becomes a little bit fatter, but it's less clear. You get more mids, which is the fat in the sound, okay, the growl, but you get less highs in proportion, which is clarity. So you need to decide how much you want between fat and clarity, okay? And when you have a Strat, I typically prefer clarity, but not always, okay?
Mhm.
So it depends on the... Also, if you get too close with the pickups to the strings,
Mhm.
the string will start to be out of tune with themselves.
That's a
Okay.
problem I've run into adjusting pickups.
And you will tell me on this one you can hear it.
On that one specifically.
Yeah.
So I adjusted them. That's not how they came when I bought it. I adjusted it till I could have the note ring with a little more stability. So I just kind of eyed it out.
So now I'm gonna adjust it super close, okay? I mean, like to the point that you can barely fret something without. Okay, you cannot fret
Yeah,
something.
okay, that's a little much.
So that's way too much. It's okay now. Let's go a bit. So. Let me put this out. Yeah, maybe I should move a bit more here.
Get Morse code now.
Yeah. Yeah. So now the bridge, the neck pickup is as close as it can possibly be. You can hear there is some strange harshness in the sound. I don't know if you guys can pick this up at home with the recording, but there is some harshness in the sound. If you hold a note, well, you can hear something
strange.
This is a pickup too close to the strings, okay? So you really want to take it a little bit away. So what do we do? There's also another issue immediately that you can hear is that now the sound is way too bassy, okay? Okay, there's a lot of bass.
Oh, wow.
And can you hear it? It's not... It's like it's a chorus. There is no chorus right now. That's the string being out of tune with itself because the magnet is too close, and so the string does not vibrate with the same frequency in this direction and in this direction. There are two notes.
Maybe that's why I don't like chorus, is it makes it feel like things are a little out of tune.
It is out of tune. So that's the thing. We need to go away. But the other thing is that the sixth string is overpowering the first string. So if I pick them together, there's way too much bass. And this happens in general with all Strats pickup. If you set them parallel to the strings, there is way too much bass. So the first thing is get those pickups a little bit further away from the strings so that this chorusy effect doesn't happen anymore. Because now we are clean, so it's fine. The moment you put even a touch of distortion, the chorusy effect will sound like crap.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So, and you want to start here and get to a decent clarity. This is a clearer sound than before.
And this is to taste?
To taste.
Okay.
To taste. Some people advise to practically put this flush to the pick guard. I think it's too much. Okay, I will go a bit lower, essentially. If you guys really want a measurement from the top of the pole to the top of the string, we are talking about slightly less than 3/16 of an inch.
But that's, what if I've got hotter pickups? Then
exactly, that's the point. This measure doesn't tell you anything because it depends how hot are your pickups. Okay.
And then the same brand from the same factory could be hotter, or
there's always variation on single pickup. And then maybe what if you have stacked humbuckers or noiseless? Everything changes. So you need to hear that clean sound on the amp, set it fairly neutral, okay? The point is, there's a pretty clear sound. I'd be satisfied with that. Now we equalize the sound, highs and low. The low is still too high for me. Again, this is all to my taste, okay?
I'll change it all after he leaves.
Of course.
Yeah. I'm not going to like any of it.
But I'm practically flashing the bass. That's probably not enough. So now that would be equilibrated.
No, that sounds pretty good.
Okay. Even a little bit less bass again, so I'm going to take it slightly further away. Very slightly. But I think we have... Okay, now we have a nice bluesy sound. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
If I put back...
Now I see the difference between how it was originally. if I look at it, the bass side is down much lower.
Yeah,
That's something you guys might not be able to see.
No, from there you won't. But essentially, the bass side is nearly flush with the pickguard, while the treble side is probably 2 or 3 millimeters out of the pickguard. So the pickup definitely looks a bit slanted. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Now, once we set up the bridge pickup, the neck pickup. I'm setting up this first because that's the sound of the Strat for me.
Yeah,
that's the one
totally
that has to come out right. Okay. And again, having more time, you can sit down and refine these. Okay, that's the first approximation. Then I'm comparing these with the other two pickups. Okay. I can play the whole thing first. You see that there's not enough bass on this one. Comparing them.
Yeah, there's a gigantic drop in bass.
Exactly. On the middle one, the bass is okay. Middle one is already pretty good, actually. And I want more highs, a little bit more highs. Okay. So, whenever I listen to the bass, I play the 6th string alone, or the 5th string alone. Okay, and you can hear the double bass. When I want to hear the highs, I typically pick the 1st and 2nd string together.
Okay.
Because I also want to hear how is the separation between the notes.
Right.
Okay. But you can totally hear that the bridge pickup is underpowered, which is typical of SSS guitars with 3 single coils. Okay. And again, what you want to do is to make the bridge pickup closer to the strings, and don't be shy about that. Okay. So. The bass is okay now. There's no drop.
Yeah, totally.
Well, there's less drop at least.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like it's going off a cliff or anything. It's just
the high. For now, it's fairly good. Okay.
Now, do we get that chorusy effect now, though? On the 12th fret?
I don't hear it.
No, it's good. It's good.
So we are fine. We're not too close to the Strat. Now the middle. Everybody forgets for some reason. People seem to not like it. If you set the middle pickup right, it sounds great. I really don't get it. And
I don't really use the middle pickup, to be honest.
Oh, you see. And I have a Strat without a middle pickup, and I'm considering putting it back in again, because once you learn how to use it, it's great. So again, first let's set up. Low seems already okay. But even if I would take away a little bit, actually. There. Highs. I will add a little bit, but just a little bit. It's pretty close to there. And I will take away some highs from the bridge. Because the idea is that you want those 3 pickups to sound like they're part of the same guitar. Okay, you want. I mean, you can do whatever you want as usual. On one of my guitars, I set it up so that the sound of I have 2 pickups on one of my Strats, and one is a stacked humbucker, one is a humbucker, and I want 2 completely different sounds from those. That's great. You want to do that, but typically, if you want the traditional stuff from a Strat, which is what I like to in my other Strat, okay. You want those 3 to work as if they are 3 different versions of the same sound. Okay. I think it's not too much highs here, but just a little bit and the bass.
The big thing I'm noticing is just the consistency and volume. Yeah.
The middle wants a little more volume in general, so I'm gonna raise both of them slightly. Okay. At the end, you want more volume here. Okay.
Now, another thing I think about while you're doing this is the action on the guitar itself. If your action isn't set properly to the radius of your neck,
you're done for.
then it's not going to work. So that's
and that's the thing.
that's a whole nother thing.
You want to set up the strings before you do all that.
Yeah.
And that the string properly intonated and the action, proper action on the string, so that it's not going to, because if one string is higher, one lower, and you do this kind of adjustment, you're not going to be able to hear what's going to happen, what's happening essentially. Okay. So, but now it's at least better than before.
Definitely.
All the positions are usable now. Okay. Even the middle ones. And again, since we balance the volume, the in-between position 2 and 4, essentially these and these, are more balanced than before.
Yeah, I didn't hear a big difference between them, and I think it's because that middle pickup was sunk a little bit lower. So
that's the thing. Most people sunk the middle pickup exactly like you say. So when you go from position 5 to position 4, you will not hear much of a difference. We hear just a drop in volume essentially, but not much more. While here, now you can totally hear the difference.
Oh wow, that's a dramatic difference now between them. Oh wow. It's like there's 2 more guitar sounds that weren't there before.
Yeah.
Wow. And what position is that on?
That's the fourth, so those two in parallel.
Okay.
And if you want a more funky sound, you use those two.
Oh wow, yeah.
And the thing is, it sounds already compressed.
Mm-hmm.
There is no compressor right now. I'm straight to a clean amp, okay?
Yeah.
It's already snappy the way it should be. When you put the compressor, it's going to sound even better. But you see, those are your effects, okay? You set up those pickups correctly. And again, that's a Squire, okay?
Yeah.
And I have no idea what pickups we have in there.
Just whatever.
Exactly.
Alnico pickups.
Whatever they had, whatever quality they had, they are not noiseless. They are
definitely not noiseless.
they are not the Duncans or DiMarzios, okay? The point, again, by the way, I love Duncan and DiMarzios. Before people come here and like it, don't like it. I love Duncans and DiMarzios. I have them on my guitars, one or the other, okay? Or any other boutique pickup you like. But the biggest difference first is with the pickup you have, set them the right way. And this changes completely the sound of your guitar. It makes it way more balanced. Once you have set them up in the right way, then you can go and try effects, overdrives and stuff, etc. And the whole thing sounds way, way, way better, okay?
Okay.
The thing separating you from having the tone you want is probably this, okay? And now, if you see them, they are quite low on the...
they are way lower than I expected they would be. Because, I mean, this is from me looking up, like, what's recommended from the factory and things like that. And, grabbing the measuring tape out or the whatever standard that people say, it seems pretty high to me, And I always get this kind of like, Morse code-y sound from the string hitting the pickup. And then, of course, I go down and I feel like when I'm doing this kind of thing, my ears go blind to it. Is that something that is
totally
like you don't notice it until you pick up the guitar the day after and you go, what did I do? I should just like Command Z and just start again.
And this may happen. And by the way, this may happen with this one too. Tomorrow I'm gonna play it, and you discover you want some change. Actually, I'm assuming it's gonna happen because like now I set it up for my playing.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm playing it. Okay. You're gonna grab this one later, try it, and maybe you want some adjustment here and there. Apply any adjustment you want. Okay, no problem. This is not a science. Okay, this is setting up the thing the way you like it. It's like when you buy a new car, you need to find the right position for the seat.
Exactly.
Okay, what is the right position? There is no right position. It's the one you like when you drive. Okay, and everything else. Okay, so it's really a personal thing, and really the only thing is do not do this with your eyes. So don't try to set the pickups parallel. I mean, if you grab my Strat there for a moment, which one? The Pro 2 one, the Sienna Burst one.
Oh, sure.
Very good. If you grab my start for a moment and we take this one, okay. Hopefully it's gonna sound better than this player. But if you look at the if you look at the pickups here, you see how low are those pickups here. The bridge and the neck are very low. This one is way higher, especially here.
Yeah.
To get more high sound.
Now, one thing I'm noticing also is that there's raised pole pieces on all of these.
Those are factory made to try to equalize a little bit.
Now, if you don't have raised pole pieces, then you still have to use your ear. I guess that just makes it easier.
Wait, I had the tone down. I was like, why is it so dark? Okay, that's how it sounds.
Oh wow, there's a considerable difference in tone there from this guy and that guy.
Okay, so they're all balanced. Whatever you're doing, they're all balanced. Okay.
Yeah, the volume's pretty steady the whole time.
Exactly, and all the positions are usable everywhere.
Okay.
Okay, I can even use this one up here. Okay, so I can. And it works, and even if I would prefer this one.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, that's completely clean, so I usually would put in a little bit of. But they're all usable.
Now, something that comes to mind when you're switching between all these settings,
yeah,
is what is typical for different styles.